classroom learning not only about New Jersey, but learning about your town of Lawrence and its history. And there's a lot of history, a lot of important history that happened in this town, isn't there? Well, now that you've learned about it and read about it, you're going to get to see it in action today. We are very lucky to have two people to guide you on your tour today who are volunteering their time to come and do this for you because they love to share all this information and all the history about their town. The first person we have today, whose name is at the top, is Mr. Waters, and he's over there in the red vest. Mr. Waters is our township historian, which means he knows pretty much everything there is to know about Lawrence. So he'll definitely give you lots of information today and answer all of your questions. We are also fortunate to have Mr. Ben Asher, who's right here in his hat. He not only edited the book that you read in your classroom, but he took all of the pictures too. Weren't there a lot of great pictures in that book of all the beautiful homes? Well, that was thanks to him.
This is really going to be a very special day for you folks because, well, using this book, which has already been copyrighted, that I was honored to edit and photograph, you kids now have the privilege of embarking on a special 18th and 19th century, what can only be called an adventure. You're about to discover a lot of new things about your town. Places you had the wonderful opportunity to study about this spring, which have been right under your own noses and overlooked since you were much younger. This is only the second time that this tour has been organized, but it's an educational experience that no other town in the whole state is giving their students, according to the state's Historic Preservation Office. So that's quite a distinction, that's quite an honor. You'll be getting some history lessons that will literally come to life. You'll be getting to see how families like yours lived back here in the old days, as they say. And you can thank Lawrence Township Board of Education for supporting our efforts and making it possible for the special bus transportation that will be taking the entire fourth grade, that will have taken the entire fourth grade over the last week or so to see what you're seeing today. It's going to provide a four-dimensional lesson in history, architecture, settlement, and historic preservation. So everybody, have some fun learning about your hometown.
This man is Captain James Lawrence. Now, some town somewhere was named after him. Do we know what town that might be? Anybody? Let's hear it. Okay, that's right. Our town was named after Captain Lawrence. He was a very famous hero of the U.S. Navy in the War of 1812, and that is the reason that he was selected for a new name for Maidenhead when the time came to change. But Captain Lawrence said some very famous words. Somebody looks like they may know what those words are. What were those words? What would you say? That's right, the words were, "Don't give up the ship." So this is a famous flag that Captain Lawrence's friend, Commodore Perry, flew a few months later at a different battle, the Battle of Lake Erie. And this is a famous flag that is still flown today in the U.S. Navy. We are going to get on our buses right outside, and we're going to go south. We're going to come all the way down to the Shabakunk Creek. Now, the Shabakunk Creek is right by Notre Dame High School, and it is the site of a very famous battle during the Revolutionary War. That battle took place on the 2nd of January in 1777, and it was Colonel Edward Hand, who was one of the officers in George Washington's army, who had a very important role in the Second Battle of Trenton. And I'll tell you more about that when we get down there. But remember Colonel Hand. He was the famous officer who was in George Washington. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. Then we're going to get back on our buses, and we're going to come up to the village of Lawrenceville, and we're going to park there, and we're going to take a walking tour of Lawrenceville Village and the Lawrenceville School campus. So some of the houses that you've seen in the book, we will stop and take a look at, like the Greenhouse and the Romney House and the Lodge. Then we'll walk a little bit and we'll have a chance to learn about the trolley line. that used to connect Princeton and Trenton and had a stop right here in Lawrence. Then we'll take a look at the Cock and Bull Tavern, and we'll visit the Presbyterian Church of Lawrenceville and their graveyard. We'll then go to the Lawrenceville School. We'll see some of the other buildings that you've seen, like the Hamill House. I don't know if you can see it well from where you are, but there is a flag hanging off this Hamill House picture right here. And you know what the flag says? Don't give up the ship. They have the flag hanging out there on the Hamill House. We'll see the Edith Chapel, and we'll see Memorial Hall all on the Lawrenceville campus. So then we'll get back on our buses, and we'll come over here to the Brierley House in the great meadow of Maidenhead. We'll ride down Meadow Road. Meadow Road is one of two roads in Lawrence Township that is not paved, and as a result it is very bumpy. And you will have probably the bumpiest school bus ride you have ever been on when you get on Meadow Road. So that is something to look forward to. We'll see the Brierley House, and then we will walk down to the Delaware and Raritan Canal and learn about when that was built and how that helped out New Jersey in the 1800s.